Yes, Elmiron can cause serious and permanent damage to the retina, which can also cause a loss of vision. Now, I think as we discussed earlier, macular degeneration is a common misdiagnosis for the damage to the retina caused by Elmiron. While macular degeneration is damage to the retina, and it does cause center field of vision damage, it involves different method of action of damage. It involves leaky blood vessels that grow under the retina, or retina detachment, where it deteriorates. The injury caused by Elmiron is completely different. Absolutely not. But that may be indicative of damage to your retina caused by Elmiron. The real question is, at our office, in order for us to bring a lawsuit on your behalf, we have to have the imaging studies that show that you have damage to your retina caused by Elmiron. So if you have any of the symptoms of Elmiron-related damage, I would go to a retinal specialist, give them the history of your taking Elmiron, give them the history of your problems with your eyes, and let the retinal specialist and you decide whether you should undergo those imaging studies that I outlined earlier. One thing that's extremely important that has been brought out by a recent study, as well as noted in the new labeling that has been published by the defendants who are selling Elmiron, is that the damage to your retina can occur long after you stop taking the drug. That's correct. You could stop taking the drug 10 years ago, and the damage to your retina could be happening today. I think there's one study that actually noted that a person in the study was still having damage to their retina 10 years later. Without getting into attorney confidential information, based upon the information that's been published in the peer-reviewed literature, retinal magazines, ophthalmology magazines, without getting into any confidential information, based upon the published literature, including the literature published in ophthalmology magazines, retina magazines, and even the updated package insert that was recently released in June 2020. Many people who have reported Elmiron-related damage to their retina have taken Elmiron for about 3 years or longer. However, we don't have enough information to say that 3 years is the minimum, because there's been some people that have documented Elmiron-related retinal damage that have taken it for less. It appears that the cumulative dose over the years, when you add up all of the Elmiron that you've taken, people who have taken more Elmiron than others seem to be at greater risk. So there are people that have taken relatively little Elmiron also have reported having Elmiron-related retinal damage. And what's really important is you need to have follow-up retinal examinations after you stop taking the drug. Because, as I said earlier, it's been reported not only in ophthalmology magazines, but in the labeling that just came out in June 2020 that damages to the retina can occur after you stop taking the drug. Well, I'm a lawyer, not a doctor, but if I was taking Elmiron, and if I had any of those symptoms that I outlined earlier, then I would go to my ophthalmologist and have a discussion. And part of the discussion would be, should I see a retina specialist? And should I get the fundus autofluorescence imaging, or the optical coherence tomography, or the near infrared fundus reflectance, or all three, to make a determination of whether the injuries that I have were caused by Elmiron.